When the weather starts to turn chilly, we reach for more hearty, comforting dishes. These 4 comforting chicken meals are flavorful, satisfying, and easy to make on a weeknight. Trust me, these recipes deliver on taste.
Hi, I'm Angie. Welcome back to Dinner and Aside. Today, my sister Laura and I are super excited to share with you 4 of our favorite chicken recipes. We know you're always looking for new ways to make chicken exciting, and we think you're gonna love these recipes.
If you've been stuck in a chicken dinner rut, these recipes are exactly what you need. We're starting with one of my personal favorites, creamy mushroom chicken served over a bed of delicious mashed potatoes. This recipe checks all of the fall comfort boxes. Golden seared chicken, a velvety, creamy mushroom sauce, and that delicious buttery mash. It's rich, satisfying, and even the pickiest eaters will like this. First, let's get the potatoes going. I have Yukon Gold potatoes here. These are perfect for their natural buttery texture. I've peeled and quartered them, and we're just gonna let them simmer here for about 20 minutes until they're tender. While the potatoes cook back there, I'm going to prep the chicken. I have 1 large boneless, skinless chicken breast, and I've cut it in half lengthwise. This will help it cook more evenly and quickly. So we're just gonna season these with some salt and pepper on both sides. Get them nice and seasoned. Then dredge it in the flour, which will help get a nice crust when we sear them. Once they're coated, set them aside on a wire rack to rest. For the mushrooms, I'm using Baby Bellas. These are earthy and perfect for a fall sauce. I'm just gonna put them in with a little bit of butter that I've melted in the pan. I'm gonna spread these out a little bit and just let them brown without touching them for just a little bit. This is how you develop that really great savory taste. Season them with some salt and move them around once or twice so that they cook evenly. When they're browned like this, take them out of the pan. Next, we'll sear the chicken. Throw in an extra piece of butter and slide them in there. Let each piece sit undisturbed for 3 to 4 minutes per side so that they can get a golden crust. Once browned, they come out of the pan too. This is where you develop all of the flavor because you're gonna get all the browned bits up off the bottom of the pan. I'm using a dry white wine. Something like a Pinot Grigio or a Sauvignon Blanc would be great. If you don't want to use wine, you can just use more chicken broth. The point here is just to be able to scrape up the brown bits and get this all nice and flavorful. You're gonna let this cook down a little so that the alcohol evaporates a bit. This is liquid gold. Add in garlic, then the chicken broth, onion powder, and dried thyme. We're gonna let this come to just a gentle boil, and then really we're thickening the sauce with a cornstarch slurry. This is just cornstarch and water mixed together. This is gonna thicken the sauce. So put that in when it's just at a gentle boil, and then give it a nice whisk. It will start to thicken up almost immediately. Then stir in heavy cream to finish. You want this sauce to be velvety, but not too thick. The sauce is cooked down nicely, so we're gonna add the chicken back in to heat through, and then I'll add the mushrooms right on top of that. This is looking great. And then while that heats through, the only thing that's left to do is mash the potatoes. The potatoes are tender and ready to go. I've drained them, and now all I'm gonna do is add the heavy cream, butter, salt, and pepper. This is really all you need for the best mashed potatoes. If you got the potatoes tender enough, a hand masher should be enough to get them nice and smooth with a little bit of texture. You know, not super smooth, but not chunky. Use whichever method you like. I'm fine with the hand masher, but if you like it smoother, you can use a hand mixer as well. Let's plate this up. A nice scoop of those potatoes, a piece of chicken, and spoon that lovely sauce right over the top. This is the kind of meal I really want on a cool night. It's hearty, flavorful, and a little bit indulgent. Plus, it doesn't take that long to make, and you can adjust it however you want to suit your family. Next up, Angie's bringing a little bit of spice.
I do love that creamy chicken and mushroom recipe. Laura, it looks amazing. It's definitely comfort food. Now we're gonna move into something warm and aromatic. Butternut squash butter chicken. This is a fall-inspired twist on the classic with a velvety sauce that blends roasted squash, warm spices, and a touch of coconut milk. It's rich, comforting, and completely satisfying. Butternut squash is one of my favorite things to cook in the fall. They keep a really long time in the pantry too, so I buy a few at a time and then they're there whenever I need them. I peeled this one a little bit ago. It does take a while, for sure. But I've got a great tip to make it so much easier. Put your squash in the microwave for about 2 minutes. It heats it up and it makes it so much easier to cut and peel. There are so many great butternut squash recipes to make. You can make soup or just roast it as a side dish. It's always good that way. But today we're thinking a little outside the box and I know you're gonna love it. So we're gonna drizzle this with some olive oil and then some salt and pepper. We just want to get it nicely coated because then we're going to roast it. Roasting the squash gives it a deep caramelized flavor that becomes the base of our sauce. Now we're going to put it in a 400-degree Fahrenheit oven for about 20 to 25 minutes. While the squash is roasting back there, we can get started on the chicken. Today I'm using boneless, skinless chicken thighs because they stay tender and flavorful and they don't dry out, so they work really great for this recipe. We're just going to season them with a little bit of salt and pepper. We're just going to sear them in a little oil. Give them about 6 to 8 minutes to brown on both sides. When the chicken is browned, set it aside. In the same pan, we're going to add the chopped onions. Now this needs to be over medium-low heat. We just want to cook them until they're soft. Should take about 5 minutes. Then we'll add in garlic, fresh ginger, and tomato paste. Cook that down for a minute or two, just until it's fragrant. Now for the spice blend that makes Indian food so incredibly flavorful. I've got some garam masala, cumin, coriander, smoked paprika, and just a little bit of chili powder. Add those spices in and let them cook for a minute. This will deepen their flavor and build the foundation of the sauce. Turn that off after a minute so it doesn't burn. Now that the butternut squash is tender, we're just gonna add it right to our food processor, or you could use a blender. Add the onions and spices in there too, along with a cup of chicken stock. This will create a smooth, creamy base that's full of flavor. Pour the sauce back into the pan. Try to get it all out of the food processor. You're gonna want every bit of this sauce. It's so flavorful. Then pour in the rest of the stock, a couple of tablespoons of butter, and the coconut milk. We're gonna let that simmer for about 5 minutes. It should be gently bubbling, but not a full boil. Now the chicken goes back in to finish cooking in that sauce. 10 minutes on a low simmer is really all it needs to get tender and soak up all the flavor from that sauce. Don't you love how rich and silky that is? The color alone makes it perfect for fall, but the spices and the butternut squash are going to taste amazing together. This butternut squash butter chicken is cozy, bold, and deeply satisfying. It's perfect for those fall nights when you want something a little special without making it complicated.
Recipe number 3 is a crispy sesame chicken with the most flavorful, sticky, sweet, and savory sauce. This is comfort food at its best. I'm using chicken thighs for maximum flavor and juiciness. It's also a lot more forgiving than breast when you're frying it. Just cut it into bite-sized pieces. We're skipping the traditional breading station this time, and instead I'm using a resealable bag. Not only is it less messy, but you can toss multiple pieces at once, and it saves time. Just combine the flour, cornstarch, baking powder, and salt in the bag and shake it up. Then you can beat an egg in a bowl. I just start out by putting all the chicken pieces in the egg. Then you can grab them out of there a handful at a time and put them in the bag with the flour. Shake it up to get them all coated. Then you can set them on a plate while you finish up the rest. So I'm going to heat up some oil. I'm using peanut oil today to cook the chicken. Feel free to use any cooking oil that you want that has a high smoke point. Add the chicken one piece at a time to make sure they don't stick together, and cook them for about 3 to 4 minutes per side, flipping over the pieces during cooking so they all get golden brown. Remove them from the pan once they're done. We're gonna make the sauce right in the same pan, so drain the oil out. Okay, now we're gonna make this really simple sauce. It all goes right here in this one pan. We're just gonna start with a little bit of sesame oil, garlic, soy sauce, Shaoxing wine, Chinese rice vinegar, and brown sugar. The wine and vinegar are typical in Chinese cooking, and you should be able to find them at any Asian grocery store or on Amazon. Let this come to a boil, then add the cornstarch slurry. Stir it all together and let it start to bubble over high heat until it's reduced by about 1/3. Once the sauce is thickened, add the sesame seeds. Now it's time to add the chicken back in. And gently toss it in with the sauce to coat. Give it a minute or two to just heat back up. I like to serve this dish with rice, topped with sesame seeds and spring onions or scallions. Absolute comfort food.
Our fourth chicken recipe for you today is a gorgeous chicken piccata. It's served over a bed of buttered noodles. This is such a delicious, comforting meal, and you will be surprised just how easy it is to make. First, let's get the chicken ready. I'm using 2 large chicken breasts, and I'm going to slice them down the middle so they'll cook faster and more evenly. Season them with a little salt and pepper on both sides. Add some flour to a shallow bowl or plate, then dredge each piece of chicken in the flour on both sides. Make sure it's nicely dusted but not coated. The flour will help it get a nice golden crust when we fry it, and it helps thicken the sauce too. Next, add butter and oil to a pan over medium heat and let that melt. Add in the chicken. We want these to get golden and crispy, and that'll take about 3 minutes per side. Listen to that sizzle. Perfect sizzle means perfect chicken. When it's done, remove it from the pan. We're going to use that same pan to make the sauce. Add just a touch more olive oil, then the shallots, and let that saute for a few minutes to get soft and fragrant. Add the garlic and give that about 30 seconds to become fragrant. Now it's time for the chicken stock and lemon juice. Give it a good whisk to get all those brown bits from the bottom. Let it simmer and reduce by about half. That's where all the magic happens. It's reduced by half, so we're ready to add the capers. And don't forget the lemon zest. It's going to add a wonderful citrus kick. The heat needs to be on low at this point. Add the cubed butter to the pan and just move it around with the spatula until it's fully incorporated. Doing it slowly like this makes it super velvety. See how luscious that looks? Now let's plate it up. I love serving this over buttered spaghetti. It's the perfect accompaniment. Chicken piccata is definitely one of my favorites, and I don't think we make it often enough. Maybe we can change that right now. Let us know if you make this one. I think you're gonna love it. We hope you loved these chicken recipes. Be sure to save this video so you can come back to these recipes again and again all season long.
Thanks for watching. We've got lots more chicken recipes for you to try. Click here and watch them all.